Hello, I'm back and I'd like to tell you about my Caribbean cruise this time, which was on the Sea Princess and departed from Montego Bay for 2 weeks on December the 5th. This is my stateroom here and I've got Keeping Up Appearances on the telly. The Crooner's Bar would be the place I would go for a pre-dinner drink, and there would normally be some kind of light entertainment on. The first stop was the Cayman Islands. A tender was required here. You can see that the ship is parked quite a way out, and so it took a while to get on shore. And the first place I went to was a place called Hell, and sent a postcard home saying, "Oh, I've been to hell and back." Yes, you can imagine all the jokes. The 7 Mile Beach does exactly what it says on the tin, and the Explorer's Bar I would sometimes go to because it was further down in the ship and therefore didn't rock quite as much as some of the other places. This is the captain's party. This was the first formal night of the cruise. There were actually three formal nights in all. The second stop, which was Aruba and belongs to the Netherlands, was a bit different to the other Caribbean islands because I think because of the climate, it's nowhere near as humid there, although it's still very warm. The beaches are absolutely deserted here. Oh yes, the California Lighthouse, that's in the complete north westerly extreme point of Aruba. Bonaire I'd never actually heard of before. That's our third stop. And Bonaire is actually famous for its flamingo population. I believe it has the third largest population in the whole of the world. And there's quite an amusing photo, I think, of a flamingo on a speedboat. The champagne waterfall party took place that evening, and as you can see, the tower of glass is being built there, and the captain's assistant, I forget what his name is, pours champagne over the top, and then you just help yourself to a glass. The fourth stop, the quite controversial stop, was La Guaira, which is a port near Caracas in Venezuela. There was a rumour that we'd only actually gone here to refuel the ship. I don't know if it's true or not, but judging by how much there was to see in Venezuela, it could well be true. This part of the ship was actually very good though. There's a trip up a cable car, and you could see for miles up there. Oh yes, the colonial house. This would obviously be Spanish colonial, and it housed quite a lot of antiques from that period. You can see the Spanish influence there. Oh yes, Grenada. Grenada has what is reputed to be the most beautiful port in the Caribbean, and when I saw it, I was quite in agreement, really. And oh yes, this excursion to the national park. This was really nice. And the waterfall where there were some men jumping on and charging, well, hoping for $1 as a tip as part of the entertainment. Barbados. This was halfway through the cruise now, and this is Sunbury Plantation House, a colonial house. Obviously from when the British occupied this part of the world. The Orchid House, it's very, very humid in Barbados, and I think that's why anything can pretty much grow there. And this was quite a nice place just to relax and have a quiet stroll. Gun Hill Signal Station, I'm not quite sure what the story is around this, but apparently you need to come in the afternoon and watch the sunset, but this was, I think it was in the morning when I went, but it was still quite nice, but the views I thought were quite similar to what you might get back home. This is one of the shows, this was actually a cultural show, one of the better ones. Dominica was the next place, not Dominica as I kept calling it by mistake. I thought this was the prettiest of all of the islands, probably because it's quite rugged and it's very green as well. And there's a lot of exotic plants again and trees. Some locals playing cricket there. And here you'll see the guide, who was actually a descendant of the Caribs, and there aren't very many of them left. These are the indigenous people of obviously the Caribbean, hence its name, and he's held in sort of very high regard by the locals. There are two waterfalls there, although it was called Trafalgar Falls. There are actually two of them. One's called, I think it's Mama Falls, and one Papa Falls or something. The next stop, which was Antigua, this is where I went on a 4x4 off-road, in inverted commas, safari. Although I was a little bit disappointed with it because there wasn't actually that much off-roading involved. However, I still did quite enjoy it because of the views, as you can see here, quite high up, and in the very far distance there's Nelson's Dockyard, which is quite famous in Antigua. This is one of the many beaches of Antigua. I think they said that there's one for every day of the year in Antigua, or was that Barbados? I can't remember. Someone will have to let me know about that one. Yes, this was Saint Martin's. This is a very small place. So I didn't spend too long here. I didn't do any excursions or anything, but it's very pretty. It's very clean, and it's very relaxing. And it was actually very hot that day. I didn't spend very much time there at all. The British Virgin Islands was the next place, which I was personally, I did like them, but I thought that it was quite a poor place, and the quality of the housing was poor. But having said that, that they're still very beautiful. I mean, you can see here that there's lots and lots of islands, and they're all quite small, and they're fairly rugged. From here, from a place called Skyworld, you had a good 360-degree panorama, so you could see quite a lot of them. Yeah, I think this was probably the best excursion that I went on in the whole of the holiday. Carrot Bay, why is it called Carrot Bay? I don't know. Someone tell me again. Yeah, Fisherman's Cay. I think this is where all the rich people park their yachts. And because of the British Virgin Islands, we had a great British send-off at the end. And there's me taking a photo of me taking a photo. Yeah, a lovely sunset. And unfortunately, I lost the film for the rest of the cruise. So that's just a postcard of the Dominican Republic. But you didn't miss very much because it rained and Samana wasn't particularly fantastic. And then it was a day at sea, and then back to Montego Bay. Yeah, that's it. Bye-bye.